What is up, everybody? How's everybody doing today, man? You already know how it go. It is your boy B back with another video, and I am currently working on making sweet potatoes, and I wanted to do a phone flipping Q&A. So I asked on my Instagram for people to leave me questions, and that is exactly what you guys did. Now in this video, I'm trying to get to actually being able to answer every question you guys gave me. I'm gonna answer as many as I can in this video, and it might be a part 2, I ain't even gonna lie. But what we're gonna do is we're going to start with the questions. And again, guys, remember, it is really important, especially in phone flipping, to stay informative, okay? If you guys, again, don't know who I am, my name is Brandon Jones, and I specialize in helping you make an extra income. And also, guys, go and subscribe to my vlog channel, Educated Hustler Vlogs. Go and subscribe there right now, because I'm showing you guys the behind the scenes. I'm showing you guys me cooking Thanksgiving with Tamia, but also showing you guys literally everything that I do on a daily basis. This upcoming year, I'm treating Educated Hustler Vlogs like a diary. Like, I'm just vlogging and journaling everything. And I cannot wait for you guys to come along with me on that journey of me as an entrepreneur. And I'm 100% sure it's things that are relatable to you guys for sure. All right, let's get into the questions. First, let me go wash these potatoes off, because I'm gonna get the cutting while we do this, because again, I want to try to nip this in the bud and get this done. Let's do these questions real quick. Somebody's trying to get me on Wikipedia. What made you decide to start a phone reselling business? So what made me want to start a reselling business or a phone flipping business is me being broke. And what I mean by broke, I don't necessarily mean I didn't have any money or any way to make money. I mean broke as far as me wanting another way. Like, I didn't want to have to do just one thing. I wanted to be able to have more than one option, right? Now, when it came to me being able to have more than one option, I didn't know exactly what that would be or what it would consist of. I didn't know how it would look, but I knew for a fact that I had a gift for selling. I knew for a fact that I had a opportunity at a Sprint store, and I started just literally selling phones for Sprint. And it wasn't until I had this hoopty, right? My mom gave me this car. It was a Nissan Altima. It was a white Nissan Altima. I got into a car accident the first week of me driving the car and having my license, because I was driving everywhere. You know, when you just get your license and you just don't know how to act, and you just want to drive everywhere, right? So I got my license, and I'll never forget it. Like, every day, 24/7, I keep dropping these in the thumb away. Every day, 24/7, I was just outside, just outside, and ended up getting into a car accident. The hood ended up getting damaged, so I had a black hood on it. A black hood, white Nissan Altima, and I was literally stopping at every red light and the car would just shut off. And it got to the point to where I needed a new car. And I remember going to the person I used to work with Sprint and saying, hey, I'm gonna need more money because I need to get a new car. And the person was like, well, listen, how about this? Every phone that you sell, I'll cut you in 50-50 and all this other stuff. And lo and behold, that's when I fell in love, because I started to realize the potential when I hit these streets. And I actually, because I was only selling for Sprint, I was only doing business to business. But then when he said, hey man, hit the street and start selling phones and we could split the profit, then I started to realize, wow, phones are kind of lucrative, right? I was meeting people at Wendy's and stuff of that nature, like just out meeting them at grocery stores, and I fell in love with the profits. So I got a Honda Sonata just from phones, a Honda Sonata from flipping phones. And at that time, I wasn't selling to a buyer, I was selling to consumers. So that's what made me start. But I really just started because I was broke, and I found something that people wanted, right? And that's what most of us just needs to find. We need to find, what do we do well that's in demand, that people need, right? All right, so the next one is, how do you determine the value and price of a used phone? You can determine a phone's price value, I would say, would be a price list, but let's say you don't want to use the price list. Let's just say, right? You don't want to use the price list. I'm gonna be honest with you. You can use a Amazon or a eBay even, and try to tell what the market value is that way. But the thing is, you might be overpaying, if that makes sense, for a device, because they may not know the true market value. So that's why I don't do it. I don't look at other apps. I more so just use a buyer's price list to gauge the market value. So that's how I do it. What's the next one? All right, so the next one is, what tips do you have for thoroughly inspecting and testing used phones before buying? So, okay, before buying a phone, right? If you guys watch any of my videos, you see how detailed I am when it even goes to me making offers for devices, as far as me looking at everything when it comes to the pictures, the title, everything, right? The reason is because I lost a lot of money flipping phones before, you know? And now I'm a little bit more attentive to little aspects that I otherwise wouldn't have been, right? So when it comes to inspecting a device and looking at the device and trying to determine what you need to look for, number one is the IMEI, of course, right? And then after the IMEI, I honestly would say, just look at the cosmetics of the device, determine if it's an A, B, C, or D, okay? I'll give you guys what the A and B grade are. A is for used phones, the device has the phone box, and it doesn't have any scratches or dents or cracks, of course. So those are gonna be the phones that you're looking at and you're like, okay, I know for a fact that this is mint, okay? Then you got B, which has some scratches on the screen, but of course it doesn't have any damage when it comes to the back of the device. But again, the grade and inspecting is all solely up to where you're selling it, because if you're selling to a buyer, the buyer's looking for you to make sure you have the specifications I just said. But if you're selling online to a consumer, the consumer don't need no box, right? They're not trying to use the phone to sell it. So they just want to take the phone and use the phone. So it all depends on the platform. And I formalized all of these questions so that everybody can relate. But the person that asked me this question, I know what direction you're going towards. So I would just say, make sure that you're looking at the buyer's price list and you're looking at the grades, okay? Number 4, what platform or website do you use to list phones? So to list phones, if I'm selling it to a consumer, I'm gonna use OfferUp. I'm gonna use Facebook, especially as a beginner. For me personally, I don't need to use any of those platforms. I can sell them to people at my store, but never, like if I didn't have a store, which you know most people may not, I would say I definitely would wake up every day and do, and if I have a phone, I would list it on OfferUp. If I don't have a phone but I'm trying to make offers, I would do that on OfferUp, because I can meet people literally face to face from just one OfferUp negotiation going right, you know? So I would say OfferUp. Facebook too, but I feel like Facebook has a lot of like spam and scams and all of that stuff. So that's the only reason why I'm saying OfferUp over Facebook. But in your area, it could be different, right? It could be different. Okay, number 5. How do you market and advertise your phone reselling business? Perfect question, okay? Because everybody, the #1 question to ask me when they get me on the phone, when they book a call, whether we're having a class, is do you use Facebook ads, right? So what I'd say is do not use Facebook ads if you're not making no money, right? So we don't want to, so the way I try to teach you guys to do business is the right way, right? I'm not trying to teach you or trying to say, okay, do ads like most of these gurus try to say, do ads and the ads will work for you, right? Because they won't always work for you, and that's the truth. You know how many ads I ran and didn't receive a dime back, $100 ads, and didn't receive nothing? I got some leads, but the leads didn't fall through, right? Or I sat there and set up the ad, but the ad was literally just set up. Like, the ad wasn't set up right, it was just set up. And me just setting up the ad and thinking that that was good enough, it wasn't, right? And it ended up making me lose money. So like, that's something you have to look out for, you have to watch for. So you need to know how to do the ads, but first you got to make sure that this is something that you're going to be able to make money off of. So I want to not only be able to get leads, but I want to be able to make sure that I am able to convert the conversions or the leads, or have conversion for the leads that the ad generates me. So a lot of phone flippers on YouTube especially, they try and promote this Facebook ad theory, which again, Facebook ads can work, but what happens when you do get the leads? How are you going to convert them, right? Does your system work? Everybody should have a system. When you get a lead, when somebody says, hey, I got this phone, how fast is your turnaround? Do you have the money to invest in that phone right away? Or do they have to wait? Do you have to get the phone shipped? Like, what's the plan? What is the system? So I recommend having that before anything, you know? That's one of the best ways to start this business, is by making sure that the business first is for you. Yes, I said it, it's for you, because it's not for everybody, and everybody's not going to be great at it. And also, everybody isn't going to want to do the hard work, especially when it comes to ads. You're literally sitting there talking about dealing with people that are demanding of a price that you may not be able to offer. Or you might even get somebody that got a great phone, but you don't got enough capital. So what do you do then? You just throw away the lead? So it's like, or hey, do you even have a buyer that's on standby that can liquidate you after you purchase the phone in fast enough time for you to keep going? It's so many different ways and different things that dictate what you should do when it comes to ads. Whew. What shipping and logistics service do you use when sending inventory? So USPS is good, UPS, FedEx, any of them are good as long as you have a receipt, and as long as you're communicating with the buyer, you're fine, okay? I haven't, and make sure that you are making sure to put the phone in the proper packaging. You don't want to just put it in any packaging, right? You want to make sure it has bubble wrap. You want to make sure it's in a box. You want to make sure post office worker can't tell it's a phone. So you want to make it look like it's a regular package.